Hello and welcome back to Elden Ring. Had a little stutter there. Last time we ended up dealing with the dragon over here, Smarg, and cleared out all of Ainsel, not Crystal Well, River Well. Ooh. Brain's firing on like half the cylinders here. We're actually going to rest because I remembered, can't level up, but there is another bell-bearing hunter here. And just like before, I'm stupid and want to get these out of the way. Because, yep, Turtle Pope is gone. And then I just climb. Hit him with that, and then just fireball him to death. Funny enough, this is the easiest one. Just because this environment is very conducive to not fighting him legitimately. Like, there's so many angles you can hold, and spots where his abilities just can't reach you. I mean, I've said before, if the game gives you the ability to do this, do it. Not my fault. Hell, so many enemies, when you do this, they have a ranged attack that they hit you with anyways. And it wouldn't be a problem if he didn't hit so hard. Yay, now we get meat. But with that now all said and done, where do we want to go? Oh yeah, keep forgetting. Gotta go back down here to Noxtella. Actually, we'll burn souls and do a level up quick. No sense going in with all these runes, and even though I shouldn't be at risk of dying, I would rather play it safe. We'll go 10? What do I need? 75. Yeah, so we just burn the remaining 5. Could have burned half and saved a little bit, but it's 2k. Not like I'm really gonna miss it. Yeah, we'll go that. And if the boss I'm fighting is the one I think I'm fighting, I'm going to completely cheese the fight. I don't care. I am going the wrong direction. Yeah, that would explain it. Yeah, remember the meteor that fell after Radahn's fight? This is what happened. It ripped up all this land. Blasted this enormous hole. Funny how it left a crater this deep, but it did not touch the surrounding areas. Oh, there's a traitor taken care of. If you don't know what that means, go find Celavis. I believe by opening this up, Celavis dies, which is fine. He's pointless, honestly. Other than getting Nefeli or Dung Eater as a puppet, which, for this run, I don't care about. That's neither here nor there. How do I get down here again? It is not a straight jump. Yeah, because you go over that way. Yeah, because it's not one of those locations where you can just jump and fall forever. Which has always been a kind of weird thing to me. And this game likes to give you random points where it's like, yeah, you can fall inhuman distances and survive, but, you know, you fall a little too far anywhere else, your shins explode and the rest of you turns into meat paste. And I get it, I said it before in the Caelid, the Divine Tower Caelid thing, it's just for story and progression purposes, but man is it dumb. Oh my god, how many people screwed this up? It's kind of disappointing when you see that many just blood stains. Like, this isn't even that difficult of an area. It's a jumping part, it's platforming. These people not grow up on, like, Mario games and stuff? And then we just jump. Nope. Meant to hit that and hit the wrong button. The reflex of just triangle right is very strong. Just circling around, making sure there's no loot. Alright, we're clear. I nearly fell to my death. That would have been really unfortunate. I'm glad they didn't hide like a monster back here. Because they could have easily tossed a couple imp statues and just been real annoying. Ooh, Nokron. See, now we're all the way up here, and we'll actually traverse over to here. Huh. The goop. Don't trust the goop. Ah, God. More goop. The goop is hostile. Now here, I understand why there's a ton of blood pools. People aren't paying attention, people aren't doing these fights right, people don't have spells. There's a lot of ways this can go wrong real quick. Grab silver tear husks wherever we can, because it's a free resource. You gotta watch out, because some of these don't just do the little blobby scorpion stinger trick. Some of them, because they're mimic tears, will turn into people. Granted, they're not, like, good. It's not like some fights throughout this game where they actually use player builds, which, trust me, those get real tedious. I hate when it takes player builds, because it's just like, hey, do you want to fight 16 guys with Moonveil? It's like, no, I do that if I invade. And the game's just like, too bad, here's 4 guys with Moonveil and Rivers of Blood. So you have to just not summon people for those fights, otherwise you're stuck fighting every Rivers of Blood build in the game. And people don't know how to play anything but. Look at those creepy dudes. Can we zap them from here? Yes. Yes, we can. I just saw that one dude fall to his death. Where can we drop that's safe? Right about here. Where we dropping, boys? Let's just move in on him. These guys use Ghost Flame, so it's magic and frostbite. What peculiar little creatures. Never really had an opportunity to look at them good. I do know they're good for the Rykard fight, because they can do frostbite on him. Honestly, just hitting him with frostbite in general makes that fight a lot easier. Yeah, there's even ones that are just shield dudes. I will say it's kind of cool, because rather than be like, oh yeah, here's just one type of these guys, or like the obvious sword and board, you have sword and torch, archer, and then just shield guy. I don't think people expect just shield guy. Hey, Ghost Glovewort. Ghost Glovewort Picker's Bell Bearings. So that's levels like 1 and 2 you can get now. I know it's not great, but this way if you really are like, I just want to bring everything up to level 2, you can do it. You know, maybe you're one of those people who just wants the variety. Maybe you're one of those people who's like, hey, I just want to be able to mix it up. Maybe I want to test. Well, now you can. To a degree. I think by the end of the game you can just pay runes for the items to bring it up to 9. I know for weapons you can bring them up to 24 if they're not uniques. If they require sombers, you can bring them up to 9. So you can almost max them out, and honestly the max level 9 times out of 10 is a pretty minuscule stat up. Yeah, it's damage. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not worth it at all. But it's also not the most phenomenal thing. Woo! Dodge that one. Serpentine. Oh god. I'm out. Quit staring at the talisman, or the seal. I always hate that animation. Because your character just stares at it like, oh, why it not working? It did thing before. And it's like, yes, we acknowledge it didn't work. Move on. Don't stop, scratch your head. It's like trying to drink a flask. The animation's great when you're fighting NPC invaders, because then they just keep trying to drink when they get a window of opportunity, and you can punish that. When you're playing, it's like, please stop. I already know. I screwed up. The second the health bar or FP bar didn't go up, I realized I done goofed. Stop punishing me like this. Really hoping to get the AoE on that guy. Oh, I didn't even equip Ice Lightning. I mean, it's not that fancy. It's just kind of a, hey, this is a convenient and nifty spell to have. Effectively, if you have the Lightning Strike spell, you just swap it out for a market improvement, because now you get the extra Frostbite buildup. And considering Frostbite does, I think, 40% armor reduction, there is no reason to not use it. I mean, that's free damage you're being able to put on enemies. And if you really want to be tricky, ooh, Great Shield Soldier, so I can summon those guys. But if you want to be real tricky, what you do is you get a flaming weapon or a fire spell, and then you get the Frostbite to proc, deal the damage, then you hit them with the fire, it resets them, so you can instantly re-tag them with Frostbite to re-proc, deal the damage, and you just keep ping-ponging the damage, and it builds up pretty well. Is that this whole area? There. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's not gonna lead me anywhere. I'm just trying to be fancy when I shouldn't. Figured I'd check. Ooh. Oh, it's just a silver tear husk. I had to laugh. I saw people talking about the crafting system in this game. They're like, oh, it doesn't feel necessary. I'm like, would you rather have this game beat you over the head with crafting stuff? You know, it's one or the other. It's feast or famine. You're either sitting here just constantly having the game be like, make this thing, go harvest items. And people hate that. It gets tedious. I hate it. I mean, I play 7 Days to Die. I play survival games a lot. And after a while, even I'm just like, okay, I'm done. Please. Stop making me get this thing. That's how it felt in Conan. Real shame, because that game's interesting, but man, it gets tedious. Oh no! That was easy. Alright, yeah, so this is the fight I was thinking of. I'm just gonna tell you right now, we're gonna cheat. Full on. This is the cheater way of beating this fight. This is the absolute scum-sucking, bottom-of-the-barrel kind of person way to beat this, and I have no shame. Man, I forgot how red I am. Alright. Traverse the mist. Okay, we'll drink that quick. Mimic Tear. Mimic these nuts. And now, he, like me, is butt naked. And now, since we have the moment, where is my sword? Why do I always lose it? There it is. And then we grab that. Grab all my armor again. Also, this is why you do a summon. He doesn't get any of the benefits. Now, me, because he counts as like an NPC or a player, we're gonna use Madness. 'Cause it's not like I get to use this stuff often. See, because normally he would be able to copy all my spells, all my gear, but I just don't let him. It's so unfair. It is. I get it, because it is mimicking you, but damn, it is just cheap as all can get out. And there's nothing they can do. There's nothing the game can do to stop me from doing that same thing anytime I want to. Anytime there's a mimic that can copy me, I can just do that and laugh my way to the bank. And it can't spirit summon. I think that would be the way to make it powerful, is to let it spirit summon if you have spirit summons in your equipment. Because then, yeah, if I have to fight an evil Ogre, if you really wanted it to be scummy, you let it summon everything in your inventory, or everything that it's in your hotbar. So he would be able to summon my Skellies and Ogre, and I could only summon Ogre. Because even then, even if he's butt naked, he's going to have support. And I'm only going to have a limited amount. This way, if you really want to go crazy, you could sit there, load your inventory with summons, and then go do that fight just for a major challenge. But I guess the thing is they want to keep it as close to the normal Mimic tier summon, because then it's easier to handle, and in terms of AI, they can kind of just make it the same. Plus, what would you do if you had if you had a Mimic tier, and you fought a Mimic tier, you had a Mimic tier in your inventory, would it get to summon a Mimic tier who would then mimic it? And of course, you'd have to not give it the ability to then summon, otherwise you'd have infinite summons. But you could have, like, 2 bosses. Hey, Somber 5. You see where I'm going here, right? Like, this could get really, really messy. Fun. Definitely fun. But incredibly messy. And I, for one, welcome our evil, mimic overlords. I do wish they would show up more, because, you know, we had the classic mimics before. You open a chest, it suddenly sprouts legs, grabs you, eats you, and then just kung fu kicks the hell out of you. That was cool. Annoying, but cool. Now we don't get that. Admittedly, I get why. Because people would sit there, hit boxes, not sure if it's a mimic, even though it should be pretty clear. They'd wail on it, and then it would either completely collapse, and you'd get nothing, and potentially damage goods that are really important later on in the story, or you would just do some stupid stuff, get your items, and it would be trivial, especially if you knew the tell. Because I think it was a chain that sat either on the chest or next to the chest, and that was the tell as to whether or not it's a mimic. And, you know, once you learned it, you knew it. I just think it'd be cool. Make a random chance of enemies to be like, hey, I'm actually a mimic, blorp, 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 and they just turn into you. So you could be clearing guys and suddenly just surprise mimic. Kind of like in Fallout 4, when you would be sitting there hunting anybody. You kill some guys. Nascent butterfly, not bad item. I can't remember what it's used for, though. But you'd be hunting, you know, you'd fight raiders. Or you'd be fighting whoever. And sometimes you'd check a body, and you'd see a component for the, for a synth. And it would turn out, oh, the guy you killed was actually a synth. Oh. Yeah, I gotta torch these. That's another boss fight, that's another spirit elk. We'll do that later. I'm not looking to do that part yet. That's this side of the area. I'm looking to clear this side. You know, they could introduce something cool like that and kind of explain it away in lore as like, hey, when Nokstella fell, all these mimics just went loose. They're everywhere now. I think that's an interesting story beat to play on, is like, hey, this place is kind of living in the aftermath of a great civilization collapsing. Yeah, welcome to another precarious jumping area that you can very easily die doing. Oh, somebody transformed. Yep, silver tier. You wanna not shoot me? Yeah, instantly proc the madness. Oh god. Played that one a little too aggressive for my taste. Yeah, I might be looking at bumping up my... my faith a bit more. Because my health is doing fine, my FP could be better. But my damage is starting to fall off a little bit. And I'd rather not have that happen. It also could be just because I'm using a spell that's not really that good. Like, let's be real. Frenzied Blast is kind of... or Frenzied Blast or Burst? Burst. Frenzied Burst is kind of a meme. Black Wet Blade. Now we can put on... what is the abilities? I believe it's Occult, Blood, and Poison. So now we got some other cool things we can utilize. Mimic tier. Now if I want to summon an extra me, I can do that. It does cost health instead of FP, which is... some could argue good, some could argue bad. I'm fairly neutral on the debate. You know, I think it's got its uses. You know, if you're a lower health character, it's a gamble, but it can pay out big. Ooh, butterflies. Yeah, now we have the Nox Hammer. The special ability is it grows really long, and you swing it around and slap someone with it. And yes, I'm very aware that's... seems like a very clear innuendo for something. That has to be one of the weirdest things. Enchanted homing boulders. Like, that is a level of insanity I have never imagined. Oh, that's disappointing. I just fell. Didn't really want to come down yet, but whatever. Fine. I wanted to just fireball you, but you had to be difficult. Another larval tier, so just in this little run, we've gotten like, what, 3? That's 3 respecs right there. Isn't that, I'd say, wild, but it isn't really wild, it's just very nice. So that if you really want to respec your build for whatever reason, you can do it. I kinda want to, not now, but later, when doing the Gold Mask questline, because you have to. Well, you don't have to, but you have to be a int faith build, and I am currently not. If anything, I'm going to be a arcane faith for some stuff, and dragon spells, and status build-up. But even then, I don't know. It's mostly for, like, Mohg's Great Spear. That thing is great for bleed, and it's a generally good weapon. I use that in just kind of cheese encounters. Oh, this is another interesting one. So, that summoning pool I just activated does not work. You can never summon someone down here. Because there's no way for the player to leave, and what you beat does not classify as a, like, full-on boss. Weird, right? It's such a peculiar setup. Alright, we're gonna bring Oga forward just so he can hopefully get a hit and actually move up on the enemies. And now they transform into people. Which is honestly a neat thing. Be like, hey, these guys are actually going to become guys instead of just randos. Even though they're still, you know, using random gear and butt naked. Absolutely clapped on that. That was dirty. He runs up on me like, oh, this is going to be an easy kill. Oga just comes in with the lion's claw flip attack. Kung fu flipping, busting that dude in half. Absolutely grimy tactic. Well, that wasn't very nice at all. Admittedly, I'm playing this way more flippant than I really should be, but I'm fine. This fight is not that difficult. Like, the only way this is actually tough is if you let all of the mimic tiers actually evolve. And if you do that, you're kinda dumb. I mean, come on, there's no reason to let them all evolve to become people. Unless, of course, you just don't have spells, then you have to go in and... I guess if you're doing kind of a grognard build, it's understandable. Oh my god, I killed the one that's supposed to be tough. One of them turns into a troll. Just saying it because apparently it died. One turns into a troll, big ol' roar, screamy kind of stuff, and he's gone. Finger Slayer Blade, we need that for Ronnie's questline. we'll just sweep through here. That's the thing, is I get not needing a summon, or like a player summon for this fight, but it feels like this was something where they realized the boss didn't fit, or it was going to be the Mimic tier. And they're like, oh, well, they're going to be fighting through Mimic tiers, putting another boss one in the middle might be kind of dumb. Something happened in development at this stage, and they just didn't remove that. But it's whatever. But that is all for now. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.